I'm Balsam reporting for Al Jazeera. Western operations in the Middle East have led to devastating consequences. These nations have legitimized sending troops in the name of women's rights.
We really do believe that development will start with women's rights and will end there, and it needs to be a focus throughout.
I think that these campaigns are to provide guidance, but not necessarily instill our Western values on them. Mind you, the Middle East is quite troubled with terrorist groups, Taliban and whatnot, and the foreign aid in the capacity that Canada has provided, to my knowledge, has not imparted too significant of a Western value.
Some Middle Eastern nations see women's rights as a conflict with Islamic values.
So I think Western nations really need to be respectful and understand a lot of the societal and cultural, as well as the religious norms of Saudi Arabia, specifically towards the tribal areas. I think a lot of the tribal areas still follow a lot of the cultural and religious norms, specifically dealing with women's education. And I think that they really need to be more considerate of this.
Canada allows abortion and says like it's a matter of freedom for the women. So it's not really in congress with our culture and the
I think of this in a more broader scale. So when we say Middle Eastern countries, you really would think the stereotypical kind of point of view. But when you look at Iran, you have to realize that Iran's a lot more advanced and a lot more modernized than we give it credit for. So if you look at, for instance, the amount of women that are in schools currently, you see how many women are in the schools, and it is shocking to see that if you have that mentality that that Middle Eastern countries are that stereotypical sense that we have. So in a sense, to answer your question, I would say that these Western beliefs aren't so far off to what Iran in the Middle East is doing currently.
Only time will tell this weekend if cultural values get in the way of compromise on women's health. For Al Jazeera, I'm Balsam.